Hundreds of French women have been attacked at the Paris Fête de la Musique music festival. Some of them were attacked with syringes by mentally ill criminals. These crimes have nothing to do with socioeconomics, but they are racial. These are genetically motivated evil men. If you're my age, you must also remember some 20 years ago during a New Year's Eve night around Cologne and in many other cities in Western Europe. It wasn't just Cologne. We had these massive harassment, rapes of German women, right, by immigrant men who shouldn't even have been in the country. And I remember how the mainstream media initially completely denied everything, as though it hadn't happened, as though it was all the imagination of the Facebook moms, until they found out that hundreds of women had actually filed police reports, right? And unlike in Britain, in Germany at least, then the police reports were taken seriously. How do we overturn this? We talk so much about the news, and the news itself has started to numb us. We stop feeling, and because of it, we fall into apathy. We no longer think about what we need to do. Which steps do we have to take to realize a desired future rather than this cruel nightmare that we are forced to suffer? I believe firmly that the first step, the first right step, is to bring back a religious unity among our European white peoples. It's not the politics that will ever save us. It's not the economics that will ever save us. Money will not buy ourselves out of this trap. And the politicians obviously work for the corporations in the West. It needs to be done with religion first, to reestablish the ties that people have with one another, to understand what is at stake here, and that the loss of our art and architecture and our infrastructure and our bridges and our schools and our hospitals is even far less important than the total loss of our collective soul. If we manage to hold on spiritually, then nothing else matters, because we cannot be destroyed. We are like the house that cannot be destroyed by a storm. This, I think, can be achieved if we simply start going back to church. Now, where I live in the Netherlands, in my area, we have the Catholic religion, the Catholic Christianity, and I've been to these masses sometimes. They are not frequently visited by people. The churches are 90% empty, 95% empty on Sundays. And what I do notice is that the people who still go to church are, well, let's say, misfits. They're a bit awkward people, right? Perhaps in suffering cognitive decline. Lots of old people who are suddenly afraid of death go to church hoping that maybe they'll live a little longer, right? How do we make our religion cool again? How do we get the young women back in the church benches? I saw a clip of one woman who was attacked in Paris during the music festival. She was called unclean by an Arabic dog. And her response was to say she was glad she was Christian. She was lucky to be a Christian. And that's the attitude. With that attitude, we can withstand all the other things, all the problems coming our way, all the problems that have already infected us from within, can then be purified and healed. We start by going back to church so that young people also get to influence what that experience is supposed to be like. It can be very boring nowadays to go to church, especially in Europe. We can make it more exciting to lure more people in so that the cool kids, the healthy kids, the strong ones also come back to church. Perhaps church can then become a place where you meet your love. Not necessarily as you would on a Friday night to go clubbing to find someone to sleep with, but rather you go to church to find someone you can actually have a personal bond with, where you figure each other out first on the mental level, on the level of the personality, to see if you're a match together, if you can live together. And then other things may happen. You start a family together, you buy a house together, or you build a house together. But this is how it starts, people. We need to bring back religion, put the priests back in charge of the vision for the people, let the priests tell the politicians what to do, and then the politicians get to tell the business people what to do, rather than to have it the other way around, where Trump, the billionaire, tells the politicians what to do, and the politicians tell the priests what to do. That is wrong.